Hey love bugs, this is Sharika with my pillow talk story time for you guys. So, the story I am going to share with you guys today is, you won't believe it, my brother almost died. He almost died. Please stay tuned to find out what has. Let me get into the story, make it real short, sweet, and get to the point. What happened was that, back in the day, I'm an 80s baby, as well as my brother is an 80s baby. I know that has no relevance to this story, but what happened is that my mom and dad, they used to leave us home by ourselves because the rule was, nobody better not know that you in the house by yourself. So we ended up coming home from school. I had a key because I'm the oldest of the two of us, and I had a key, and I was able to open the door as soon as we got home from school. We went in the house. We would make our lunch or whatever, and I liked watching Goosebumps. So of course, at a certain time when we would get out of school, my shows would come on. My Goosebumps, my Ghost Rider, all my little shows would be coming on. So I had to make sure that we were fed, and I was sitting in front of the TV before my shows came on. So, on to the story. So I'm sitting down. I'm sitting there in front of my brother had a go-kart. He had a real live actual go-kart that had like the little yellow it had 4 bars. So in case you were to flip it over, it had the bar in the front, the bar with the yellow thing on the front, a bar to the left with a yellow thing on the back, pretty much the cushions, and then behind you were the same yellow things, and the motor. And then in addition to that, it was a 2-seater go-kart. Oh my gosh, this thing was the bomb. I love this go-kart. I ain't gonna lie, my dad flipped it over the first day we got it. But on with the story. So what happened was, I'm watching Goosebumps, and all of a sudden, all I see is this. I just see somebody just blocking the TV. So naturally, your response is to kind of like, bob and weave, to kind of like move, like I'm playing football, like, trying to bob and weave from him blocking the TV. Of course, my show is on. So I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, and so he came up to me, and he was like, and I'm looking at him like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? I'm like, move, man, move. I'm trying to watch TV. Of course, he ran past me again, and then he ran in front of the air conditioning because now it's on commercial. So now I can pay attention to what's really going on. So I look over at him, and I'm just like, what are you doing? So he comes over to me, and he's like pointing with his mouth wide open, pointing to his mouth. So I'm just like, what's wrong with you? And then he couldn't talk. He wasn't turning any different colors or anything. He was still the same complexion, but he could not. I didn't hear him gasping for air. I didn't hear anything come out of his mouth. I just see him like pointing to his throat. So I remember watching this show. I don't remember the name of the show because we had so many shows we would watch when we were growing up in the 90s. That I don't remember what show I learned this from, but I learned to do the Heimlich maneuver on him. So I learned to do that. That wasn't something that was taught to me in school. So I ended up just grabbing him and just pressing him, like just doing this to him. And I kept doing it, and I just kept doing it. And his body, like his legs were off the ground. Like his body, like just say this is his body, like this way. And his body was like folding in like this. And I just kept squeezing him. Finally, I heard him say, no! Let me go! And he was just like, I can breathe now. So I was like, what happened? So what he told me happened was that after that happened or whatnot, he ended up picking up the ice. There was ice lodged in his throat. He panicked, so he didn't know what to do. He was drinking. He was going through all these things. So his account of the story was that he had ice. I didn't tell you our ages. We were around, I think I was in elementary school. Maybe I was maybe in 4th or 5th grade. And my brother, he was like a grade behind me, 2 grades behind me. So I think he was in the 2nd or the 3rd maybe. I know that we were in elementary school. We weren't in middle school or high school yet, if I recall. What he told me was that he had got a cup of ice. Not now, these are not your ice in the door type of ice cubes. These were the ones that come in the ice tray, and he would always go and eat the ice. So what he ended up doing, he said that the ice, he bit a piece and he ended up inhaling the ice, and the ice became lodged in his throat. He stated that the reason why he was running back and forth with his mouth open is because somehow he thought that running back and forth would make the ice melt. And I said, so why were you in front of the air conditioner? He said because he thought that the air conditioner would melt ice. Mind you, the air conditioning unit was not blowing out hot air, it was blowing out cold air. So he said that he started to panic when he felt like he couldn't breathe. And that's when he came in front of me, and I, kind of like blew him off. And then he said that, he went into the kitchen, got a glass of water. That didn't make it go down. So it seemed like he was trying a lot of different things to try to get it to go down. When he realized that he was SOL, that's when he came to me, and he was just like, that's when I finally helped him. And then with the Heimlich maneuver, he said that I was doing it too much to where the ice had shot out. Like it had went out, and then it went back down, went out, went back down. And then finally he just spit the ice out to where it flew across the room. Ever since that day up until now, we're both in our very late 20s. He does not put ice in. He puts ice in his cup, but he no longer eats ice or sucks on ice. He used to eat ice a lot. I know most people may say he may have had pica, but my mom chewed ice while she was pregnant with him the entire pregnancy. So she thinks that that's where he got the habit from. But to this day, he does not chew ice. He does still get it in his cup, but he does not chew it anymore. So that is my story on how I saved my brother's life. My parents, we did end up telling them the story. And my mom, she was grateful that I was able to save him. And the main question they asked is where I learned this from. And it was a TV show that I watched one day, and I just picked it up from the TV show. So thank God I learned that, because it saved my brother's life. And I only have one sibling, but it did save his life. So that is my story time. I know it sounds a little bit sad, but it does have a happy ending. My brother did survive the incident. No, he did not go to the hospital. My mom and dad just figured that, the ice, it shot out his mouth. He drank water afterwards so that, we can make sure he's fine. He's thriving, so as always, love bugs. I do want you guys to thumbs up this video if you liked it. Please subscribe. And of course, until next time, love bugs, be safe. Watch out for the ice. Don't be sucking on ice, because, it's not good for your health at all. But as always, I love you guys.